Welcome to the Beau Show. In June of this year, I was presented with a unique opportunity as a singer and an actor. It was the chance to portray the most famous person to have ever lived, Jesus Christ. And it came at a unique time in my life. The Greek word kairos comes to mind, which means a unique, critical, opportune moment in time. I say this because things happen when they are supposed to happen, not before, not after. And I was presented with this opportunity indirectly by a friend of mine who had performed in the Phantom of the Opera. We hailed from the same hometown and had kept in touch over the years. He knew about a tragic car accident I had had in 2020 in which I lost my father. My Christian faith guided me through those turbulent times. And in tough times, people on earth ask, where is God in all of this? If something horrible happens, how can I put my faith in something or someone that seems to be impervious to my pain? I was introduced to Jeremiah Ginsburg, who lived near me in Florida. And I spoke with him about a musical he had written called Messiah the Musical, previously called Rabboni. To know Messiah the Musical is to know its creator. Ginsburg is a Jewish man who grew up in a warm Jewish home. His father and grandfather were fruit and vegetable deliverers, and his family tree goes back to Jewish lineage in Russia. This is important as we think about the context of current events. Ginsburg comes from a line of classical musicians, and although he was musically inclined himself, his father wanted a more stable career for his son. Ginsburg plodded his way through college and eventually went to law school, but kept feeding the musical bug. And in 1981, the very year that I was born, Ginsburg wrote and premiered what is now known as Messiah the Musical. Messiah opens with a simple, modest character, Mendel Moskowitz, a fruit and vegetable delivery man in Brooklyn. He's a prototypical Jewish character. Like many people, Jewish or otherwise, he was trying to find purpose in his simple life. What will be written on his tombstone? Is this all there really is to life? So he wrote a poem which goes, "If you'll show me the road to follow, I will shoulder the load for you." And this begins the opening number of Messiah the Musical with the humble Mendel Moskowitz.
If you show me the road to follow, I will shoulder the load for you. I will shoulder the load when I'm weary. It will cheer me to follow you.
After a year of praying this very prayer in 1971, the playwright Ginsburg found himself in a vision of seeing a man with beautiful, mournful eyes and a beard in his periphery. Ginsburg describes this as being in a vision, not a dream, fully conscious of being thrust through space and time to experience an indescribable love, which we know as agape love. It is not a brotherly love or an amorous love. It was in this revelation that Ginsburg saw God the Father, who introduced him to Yeshua, his son. It was at this point that Ginsburg knew that Jesus, or Yeshua in Hebrew, had been revealed to him as the Messiah. So Ginsburg, through the autobiographical character of Mendel, asks questions we all ask.
Dear God, could you please show me why I'm even on this earth? Have you ever seen so much turmoil on the planet? It's enough to make a person lose all hope. Could you please show me where I could find hope and peace? Lord, our people believe that the Messiah will bring peace. So, when will he get here already? We're waiting for him. And while we're at it, could you please show me why we've been so persecuted down through the ages? Well, everybody hates us. What did we ever do to them? Oh God, I've got so many questions. But you're probably too busy to answer. I might as well just go to sleep. Who am I anyway? Just Mendel Moskowitz, the fruit and vegetable delivery man from New York. Brooklyn. Oi, such a big shot.
So when I was asked to play the role of Yeshua in this musical, you can imagine what large shoes or sandals I was stepping into. And it is in this curious yet dramatic way that I, as Yeshua, introduce myself to Mendel.
But what did it all mean? You should pardon me, Lord, but with you everything is a big secret. Don't get me wrong. I'm tickled pink to hear from you. You should contact me again. But God, a prophet knows how to interpret dreams like this. Not me. I'm just Mendel Moskowitz, the poor as a mouse, fruit and vegetable delivery man from Brooklyn, whose wife left him for religious reasons. She worshipped money, and I didn't have any. Someone like me knows only from a little borscht, a couple of blintzes, maybe a glass of tea. So maybe next time you contact me, it'll be with answers instead of questions.
Mendel,
Oi, you trying to give me a heart attack?
I have answers for you.
Who are you?
I've come to answer your prayers and to show you the road.
Who are you anyway?
You'll find out in your dreams. Sleep.
I like the way he talks. He seems friendly enough. And he looks Jewish.
So you can see Mendel is confused, but he's been questioning why he's on this earth. And that's a question that pretty much every single one of us asks. It is the existential question of life. So in this musical, Mendel is taken on a journey in a vision that is clear as day to him. He gets to meet Yeshua Messiah, the Jewish rabbi. This musical is Jeremiah Ginsburg's revelation of the new covenant, given specifically to the Jewish people for the Jewish people. It is 100% biblical from the prophet Jeremiah of the Old Testament. There are many musical nods to traditional Hebrew and even Russian music, such as Biddy Biddy Bim Boom Boy. And of course we see Yeshua as not just the rabbi, but also the compassionate man. He finds the Pharisees about to stone Miriam of Magdala, calling her a whore. Yeshua comes on the scene and the Pharisees try to provoke Yeshua. And he writes in the sand and says this.
This woman was taken in adultery.
In the very act.
I saw it.
And we are commanded by the law of Moses that such as this should be stoned.
Stoned? My neighbors in Brooklyn get stoned all the time. You could smell it for blocks. Nothing ever happens to them.
What should we do to her, Rabbi?
Yes. What do you say, Rabbi? He is ignoring us.
You who are without sin, you cast the first stone.
And at that point, we see Yeshua the nurturer, the shepherd of the flock. Not the one who casts stones, but the one who brings the sheep back to his flock with the song The Shepherd of Old.
So come to me, the shepherd of old, and enter into my sheepfold. I know my sheep, and they know me. I lay down my life that they may be free. Oh, little lamb, beware the wolf. He hastens to kill and destroy. He's very sly. He'll tell a lie to capture and steal what is mine. So hear my voice and follow me, that ye may be safe in my pastures. Come to me, I am He, your master, the shepherd
fold. Come to me, I am He, your Master, the Shepherd of all.
In this show, the devil, or Beelzebub as he is known, takes on many forms. But Ginsberg's depiction is of an old vaudeville showman, always looking for adulation and a laugh. And in many ways, I think this is an accurate depiction. Beelzebub is the master of entertainment. He invites you to his show.
Entertainment is starting. Come on down, it's real hot. The fork in the highway. Turn down, I'll do it my way. Riding high on the Broadway. Come on down, it's real hot. Come on down, it's real hot. Come on down, it's real hot.
Oh,
Say, can you see what we're doing to thee?
Beelzebub is played by my friend, the talented Stephen Lynn White, and he exudes all of Beelzebub's tricks. In our current society, we have lots of shiny toys and distractions that keep us away from God. They become new objects of worship. So Beelzebub is not the Halloween costume of a red-horned devil with a cape. He's in every aspect of desire, and he has a team of demons that assist him: fear, pride, liar, and lust. And he commands them in subterfuge.
free rhyme, by the way. Guru Louis, tell them that there are many gods and many paths to enlightenment. Because, my favorite part, they'll think that they're worshiping God, but they'll be worshiping me.
Yes, boss.
So you see, Beelzebub has a way of making the secular progressive world, this faithless world, attractive to the average person. In rejecting Yeshua, people come to embrace and worship something else. And with the message to his disciples, Yeshua tries to explain how he is the embodiment of the new covenant that the prophet Jeremiah spoke of. Jeremiah 31 says, "But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. No more shall every man teach his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they all shall know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, says the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and their sin I will remember no more." And with that, Simon Peter sings a very dramatic operatic aria about the new covenant.
I remember the sins no
And when push comes to shove, when Simon and John get into a skirmish, Yeshua intercedes and explains that they must have love for one another, and that it is his commandment to them. It is in this moment that we understand how all of our current squabbles and fights must be resolved with love. And again, this is a love that derives from God the Father through his Son Yeshua. The rabbis of the Old Testament squabble with the same issues that rabbis squabble about today. They get entrenched in the Talmud and go off on tangents, forgetting the fact that Yeshua is whom was sent for them. That's why they struggle in an ideological sense.
If I cast out demons by the Spirit of God, then the kingdom of God has come to them. But woe unto you, Pharisees, you hypocrites, you blind leaders of the blind.
You are possessed.
He that is of God hears God's words, but you are of your father, the devil, and want to implement his desires. When he speaks, he lies, for he is the father of lies.
You are insane.
My Father loves me because I willingly lay down my life at his command. No man takes it from me, and no man shall prevent me from rising again.
He has a demon and is mad who rises from the dead. Why do you listen to him?
These are not the words of one who has a demon. Can a demon cure a leper, or open the ears of the deaf, or make the blind to see?
Lord, let me command fire to come down from heaven and consume them.
Yes, Lord, even as Elijah did.
The Son of Man did not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them.
You have these people believing that you are the Messiah. How long will you carry on this little scheme of yours?
I do works that only Messiah can do, and still you do not believe.
When Messiah comes, he will bring peace to the world.
The peace I bring is for those who love me, and they shall receive the kingdom of God within. But on this earth there will be no peace until all is fulfilled, and I return at the end of the age.
And in this moment, Yeshua turns to the audience, and this would be addressed to everyone on this earth, and says that there will be no true peace until he returns. So as we look at our world, fraught with tribulation and pandemics, it is prophecy that this will continue until Yeshua returns. And we see how the Pharisees begin their mission to crucify Yeshua for claiming that he is the Son of God. They don't believe. And to this day, scores of people do not believe that Yeshua is the true Son of God, even though he was sent for the Jewish people as a Jewish man. And in this moment of prophecy, Yeshua describes what is to come.
O Israel, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I came to you in my Father's name, but you received me not. Now I will tell you of things to come. When you see earthquakes, famines, violence, and plagues, when Jerusalem has become a cup of trembling to all the kingdoms of the world, know that the end is near. At that time all nations shall gather against Jerusalem, and her destruction shall seem imminent. And they shall see me, the Son of Man, coming in the clouds of heaven with power and glory, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and mourn for me as one who mourns for his only son. And then I shall go forth and fight against those nations, and tread them in the winepress of my wrath. And the Son of Man shall come with all the holy angels, and sit upon the throne of David in Jerusalem. And I, the Prince of Peace, shall bring you peace upon my return at the end of the age. But now, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And I will bless them that bless thee, O Israel, and curse him who curses you. For you are my firstborn, and my beloved, ancient people.
And with that, Yeshua sings the song, O Jerusalem, which seems as though it's a mournful dirge, but it's actually a love song to Israel.
Till ye shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. O Jerusalem, 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 my love. O Jerusalem, 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 my love. O Jerusalem,
And once again in his full glory, out comes Beelzebub to entertain again, singing about the last days of Rome and how great they were because of all the pleasure and the lust. As someone who is not Jewish, I had to learn a decent amount of Hebrew, as the role of Yeshua must perform a Passover supper, breaking the matzo and blessing the wine. At this point, we begin to see the journey that Yeshua takes from this Passover to Calvary, or Golgotha, where he was crucified. He is tried by the high priest Caiaphas and Pontius Pilate, who finds no fault in Yeshua, but asks this pertinent question.
Are you the king of the Jews?
My kingdom is not of this world.
Are you a king then?
You say that I'm a king. And for that reason I was brought into this world to reveal the truth. Everyone who seeks the truth understands my word.
What is truth?
And then comes the agony of Yeshua as he hangs from a cross, crying out to God the Father, asking, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And what people need to understand is that it was the will of God for him to die in this way for the sins of the world. He had every ability to come off that cross and call legions of angels, but he chose not to because the scriptures could not be fulfilled. Here is a portion of Yeshua's agony on the cross.
My God. My God, why hast thou forsaken? Thou art far from my help. At the words of my cry, oh my God, I call. It is finished.
It is finished, or tetelestai in Greek, which also means the work is completed. This was Yeshua's sacrifice, not just for the Jewish people, but the entire human race. His suffering was immense. He wore a crown of thorns and people spit on him and mocked him as the king of the Jews. But that's exactly what he was and is, even though people reject him. And after the agony, Mary, mother of Yeshua, played by opera singer Graciela Araya, sings a song about her son, Tatala Tatala mine. And after they find an empty tomb, to their bewilderment, something is going on down in hell. And this is the primordial battle between good and evil. Yeshua goes down to hell to confront Beelzebub, who is ebullient that Yeshua is now dead, that he's lost his power.
Lovely. Beelzebub the Conqueror, at your service. I am the king. I am the greatest. And now, I'll be God!
Your pomp shall be brought down to the grave, Beelzebub.
Where did you come from? I had you killed.
I laid down my life, and I take it up again because my father gave me that power.
Impossible. I will not allow this to happen.
I was born to destroy you, to come down here and divest you of your power. The keys of your authority belong to me now. Give them to me.
Can't we make a deal?
You shall go down to the pit as a carcass, trodden underfoot, thrust through with a sword, slain. Now hand over the keys of death and hell.
No!
Now!
My keys! My power. Is it all gone? No, it cannot be. Mankind will never know that. Those stupid little creatures. I'm still the master deceiver. And God gave them free will to choose you or not. And the choice is easy. Me. Who could resist my brilliance and cunning?
The gates of hell shall not prevail.
If I can't get you, I'll get your chosen people. It is not finished yet.
And that last line is critical. If I can't get you, I'll get your chosen people. It is not finished yet. That is what Beelzebub's mission is to this day, to turn people away from Yeshua, the Jewish Messiah. He couldn't kill Yeshua, so he tries to turn people into non-believers. If nothing else, to provide a distraction. And after this has played out, we return to the humble fruit and vegetable delivery man, Mendel Moskowitz in Brooklyn, who has seen all this, but now he's in a deep sleep. Yeshua comes back to confront him.
If this is the tooth fairy, let me remind you I have false teeth.
Mendel Moskowitz, wake up.
Oh my God, am I dead? Where'd I put my slippers?
Mendel, I have come to offer you life.
Life? I thought I was dead. I think I'm right.
Do you believe in me? That I am the Messiah?
Well, I'm not sure I can do that. There's just not enough time for me to say yes or no right now. It's just not expedient.
Then you reject me.
Oh, don't take it personally. It's just that I can't accept you. I wouldn't be any good at it. I don't eat bacon. Besides, I'm scared. What if I should turn into a Gentile?
Not possible, Mendel.
But I'm a Jew. What would my rabbi think?
Mendel, am I not a Jew?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I always thought you were a Catholic. Listen, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Einstein I'm not, but I'll study the scriptures and I'll get back to you.
You must make a decision, Mendel.
In a very comedic way, Mendel always thought of Jesus as a Catholic. Many people think that to this day. They don't see him as the Jewish carpenter from Nazareth. And how Mendel reacts is very common. Blame it on your rabbi. Blame it on it not being the right time. But that decision is the decision we all must make when presented with the evidence. You must make the decision. And Yeshua is there when Mendel needs him.
Oh, thank God.
You're welcome.
We see Yeshua as someone who can even be funny. After all, he was both God and man. Jeremiah Ginsburg's grandfather was a Jewish immigrant from Russia. And for Ginsburg, he faced criticism for becoming what is called a Messianic Jew, a believer in Yeshua the Messiah. But many Jews believe their Messiah has not yet come. And as it is said in the scriptures, the Jewish people are his chosen people. They still have a choice to make, as do all of us. Messiah the musical, he says, is not a religious event, but rather a reality event. Its intent is not to get you to stand up and clap like perhaps Jesus Christ Superstar or Godspell would, but rather to make you think in a very philosophical way about what your purpose in life is and who gives you life. The show is not going to be like going to church or what you might think of what going to church is like. It presents the facts in a very evidentiary way, plain as day. It shows Yeshua the prophet, the Jew, the rabbi, the shepherd, the son, the comforter, the warrior, the downtrodden, the mocked, the deceased, the risen, and the Messiah. The reason author and composer Ginsburg wrote Messiah the musical is that in this vision or revelation in which he met Abba Father and Yeshua Messiah, he was told by God that he is to build a new house of worship for him. So Ginsburg has found his purpose. He's trying to reach the Jewish people and non-believers, not to hound you for money like a televangelist, not even to get you to go to church for that matter. Ginsburg has written a musical that speaks to the heart. It is autobiographical, of course, but he's writing what he knows to be true. It is based on his own revelation. We all ponder that existential question of why we are here and what our purpose is in life. Mendel Moskowitz ponders that same question in Messiah the musical. He's dubious because he's been taught that Yeshua was just a man, just a rabbi, that their Messiah has not come. But in this revelation, Mendel sees that Yeshua came to this earth for him, for the Jews and for all mankind.